Hello and welcome. You're watching Head to Head. I'm Carrie Oderman with UATV. The United States, Germany, and France will hold consultations on the Normandy Format. U.S. Special Representative for Ukraine Negotiations Kurt Volker said this in a comment for Voice of America. He said that he's in close contact with his European partners and the meeting is planned to take place at the beginning of next week. To talk more about the future of the Normandy Format, we're joined in the studio today with Oleksandr Levchenko. He is an advisor to Ukraine's Minister for Temporarily Occupied Territories and Internally Displaced Persons. Thank you for joining us today. In June, while President Zelensky was touring Europe, one of his last trips was with Angela Merkel, and there they discussed the Minx Treaty and the plight of the displaced people in the Luhansk and Donetsk regions. What type of framework does the Minx Treaty offer to help displaced persons?
Okay, Minx Treaty actually speaks about, it's like a peaceful plan for the occupation of temporarily occupied territory. And one of the items also speak about this internally displaced person and international help to them, because we have about 1.5 million internally displaced persons from Donbas region. It's a big problem because they need a job, they need a place for living in new place of other regions in Ukraine. And of course, we have, our ministry have several support programs with our European partners, also with Germany, which support our internally displaced person, how to reach job at the Ukraine market, how to start business with international support and financing from the Germany, for example. And of course, with a very active role of Ukrainian state and government.
Now, the original Normandy Format was Russia, Ukraine, France, and Germany. Both Zelensky and Volkers are talking about the expanded or new Normandy Format. Tell us what you know about that.
Yes, our president declared his idea to improve the work of this format and to see to it as a more with a wider plan and ask the United States and United Kingdom to be a partner and a member of this format. Of course, it's two very important states at the international arena, and if they support this idea of our president, and if Moscow not blocked this idea and this initiative, I think that it helps to all process, to intensify all process of implementation of Minsk agreement and future the occupation of Donbas region.
How exactly do you think having the United States or the United Kingdom as part of the new Normandy Format is really going to motivate there to be a solution to the conflict?
Actually, they are signers of very important international treaty, Budapest Memorandum, which was signed in December 1994 in Budapest. The US, UK, and Russia have guaranteed to Ukrainian state territorial sovereignty and independence and guarantee their borders. And of course, as a country which guarantee our territorial sovereignty, US and UK could help us and all process of negotiation process to give new impulse of negotiation process in this format, Normandy format, of course with participation of Germany and France. And of course, it's very important how will react official Moscow.
Now, the Minx Treaty was the only result of the current Normandy Format, and it has not been very successful. I don't believe one clause of the treaty has been implemented 100%. Let's talk about what's gone well with the Minx II Treaty and what hasn't worked out so well. Can you give us some examples?
Okay, now we need to give also examples actually to fulfillment all items, all 13 items of Minsk agreement. But the solution is not only depends from Ukrainian side and with the side Russian side and the side of the separatists, and very extremely important how we will see the future of this region and how we will implement all items. First of all, these items which depend to the security issues, then to political part, or first of all, like Russia propose first political items, for example, local election, the temporarily occupied territory, and then security and other issues which could guarantee restoration of Ukrainian sovereignty at the temporarily occupied territory.
Now, the last meeting of the Normandy Format was in July, I believe it was July 13th in Paris, and they reached the agreement to an indefinite ceasefire that was supposed to take place on July 21st, the so-called harvest ceasefire.
Yeah.
Just days later, we reported from this studio that 4 Ukrainian soldiers had been killed.
Yeah.
What role does the Minx still play for Ukraine, and how do you deal with the breach in the ceasefire?
Of course, it's a huge provocation, actually, this killing of our 4 Marines close to Pavlopil. And actually, other sides, in separatist sides, which led by Russian generals, actually demonstrate that they are not interested to improve situation and peaceful resolving this region. And but we should be more calm. Before that, we had a lot of provocations from other side. We should be more preparing and response with political and diplomatic measures.
Let's talk about Putin offering people in the Donbas region passports. How does this fit into the Minx Treaty and the future of working together? When President Zelensky or his representatives sit on a table in a new format, he's sitting across from people that have broken a ceasefire and are breaking international law by offering passports to people that Ukraine considers citizens. How will these negotiations look, and what's the role of the passport issuing in this?
Of course, it's the dissemination of Russian passport through our citizens in the Donbas region. It's the main idea to destroy this system of peaceful way, and it's actually the element which not improve all situation, because it's not the part of Minsk agreement, Russian citizenship, and of course it's like also the second provocation by political measures, and the United States, France, and Germany reacted appropriately and not support this act of official Moscow.
Now, President Zelensky, in this news cycle, is offering Russians that are suffering persecution an easier way to get Ukrainian citizenship.
Absolutely.
Is it tit for tat? Are you expecting people from Moscow that are active right now in the protests to look for asylum here?
Who knows? Maybe, but it's not symmetrical answer of Ukrainian side. But actually, I suppose it's European practice when to all participants of peaceful movements and movements for human rights, which persecutes by police and other organs in Moscow. Of course, it's like a political step from Ukraine as our understanding the situation, and we give our hand to them, the hand of support. And if they want to be Ukrainian citizens, okay, we could guarantee by the liberalization of the process of gaining Ukrainian citizenship.
It's a very important topic, but unfortunately that's all the time we have today. We hope you come back and speak with us again about the process that Mr. Volkers and the rest of his team are making with the new Normandy format. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That was Oleksandr Levchenko, advisor to Ukraine's Minister for Temporarily Occupied Territories and Internally Displaced Persons. Thank you for watching and stay tuned with UATV.